Welcome, everyone, to the Public Works Committee, November 10th, 2025. Good afternoon, and we have quorum present today in today's meeting, and I would like to call this meeting to order. We have Councillor McMeekin, Councillor Cooper, Councillor Jackson, Councillor Kassar, Councillor Matt Francis, Councillor Wang, Councillor Taddison, Councillor Nan, and Councillor Jeff Beattie. Today also, as you are aware, I'm sorry, online we have Councillor Alex Wilson. Thank you. We also, today is the Mayor's Safety Summit at Liuna Station, and she has welcomed all the public to go there to discuss safety in our city. So I think it's a good thing, and I want to say that Councillor Kretsch is not here because he's been there since this morning, and he's concerned, and it's the area, so he's there, so he's not here with us today. So welcome, we have quorum. A reminder, devices are to be non-audible function during the committee meetings. Okay, we're going to go to ceremonial activities. We are pleased to welcome the participant of the Transportation Division Leadership and Development Program for Emerging Leaders for today's Public Works meeting. This year, cohorts includes 12 emerging leaders representing a range of roles from roads operation to project managers who are committed to growing their leadership skills and sharing the future of our transportation service. We're excited to have them join us and support their continued professional development. Their participation reflects a strong
elimination of shared services. So one property, one service. Two properties were no longer allowed to share services. Unfortunately, when those bylaws were drafted, we didn't contemplate or failed to contemplate the existing development applications that were in place that had been approved that relied on those joint services for both water, sewer, and stormwater services. So we didn't add language in there to allow those ones that had already been approved to proceed. So this amendment is simply to put in language to allow those development applications that relied upon shared services, whether they're water, wastewater, or stormwater, that were approved under the previous bylaw to proceed. And that is the only change to this bylaw.
Councillor Wang?
Thank you. So help me understand, is this in Appendix A or Appendix B, Section 2.2? Somewhere so there's a lot in the report, so I'm trying to understand where the actual change in the bylaw is. Is it Appendix A or is it Appendix B? Or is it both?
Through the chair, it's through both Appendix A and Appendix B. Appendix A and B are the two bylaws. They're two separate bylaws, one for the Waterworks bylaw and one for the Sewer and Drains bylaw. And it is, and I'd have to pinpoint that language for you. Sorry, it's not redlined. It was an addition. It wasn't a change. It was an exemption to the bylaw.
Okay. And I'll take this offline, Chair, but I think that this was really hard for me to understand where we made changes. So I wonder if there's an opportunity in the future for us to have a redlined original version. So then that way, not only councillors can see where the changes are, but the public has a little more transparency as well, because in all honesty, it looks like two very complete bylaws, but I don't understand where the changes are. So I hope I'll take that offline and I'll have that conversation. But I think that there's value and merit in seeing a red line version. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you. All right, so we're going to Evo. And it passes 11-0. Thank you. 9.4, update to terms and of the Commercial District Grant Program respecting waste recycling closure for commercial properties and business. And this affects all of us. Wards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, and 15. All of us. Okay, may I please Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 11, well, that's pretty well, except one. Okay. Okay, I can't make a general say. Okay, let me read it again, who it affects. Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, Ward 4, Ward 5. We skip Ward 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, and 15. Thank you. Okay, may I have a mover and a seconder to put the report on the floor? Councillor Jackson. And Councillor Sparafora. Okay. All right, and do we have any discussion on that? Councillor Wang.
Thank you, Chair. I understand that we are going through a massive SEPA review right now, so all of these will obviously be updated in that upcoming SEPA review. Am I correct? Ah, there's Phil. I see Phil.
Good afternoon. Through the chair, that's correct. We brought it forward at this time in response to that this was a request through motion from Councillor Crutch.
Perfect. Chair, I just think that I'm really thankful that the ECDAV team really works hard on these things. I just worry that we get these piecemeal sort of additions and exemptions and things like that. But then as we're doing a fulsome 5-year review on all of our community improvement program areas, the SEPAs, that we may forget that there are different pieces that are piecemeal here and there. So I'm thankful that the manager has addressed that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, anyone else? I don't see anyone else on the list here, so we're going to have a e-vote. Thank you for coming out. It's not working, your thumb?
It wasn't a request from the ward office or the public. It was an absolute necessity because eastbound traffic was not available for a couple years.
Councillor Taddison?
And thanks for that clarification. I just wanted to try and understand what the ramifications were and the man hours in order to make that adjustment so that I would have a better understanding when I make those requests, so that I would not make those requests in the future having that better understanding. Thank you.
It's great when we could work offline too. Notar has. He's worked this whole couple with staff and make sure for your questions. All right, so we're going to do it for 9. All right, we're going, I think it's 12-0. Yeah, 12-0, thank you. We're going to go motions now, and we have 10.1, and one is from Councillor Francis. Will you introduce your motion, and who's your seconder?
Thank you, Chair. My seconder is Councillor Beatty, and I will do the short version of this. Whereas 57% of homes on Nugent Drive between 85 Nugent Drive and Nash Road petitioned for a speed cushion, therefore be it resolved that the Transportation Division be authorized and directed to install one speed cushion on Nugent Drive at approximately 31/32 at an upset limit of $3,000, not exceeding, from the reinvestment reserve 108055.
Thank you. Straightforward, speed bump for safety. All right, for any questions? I don't see any, so we're going to e-vote, please, on speed bumps. and it passes 12-0. 10.2, water drinking fountain addition at Hampton Park, 28 Lupin Avenue, Ward 6. Councillor Jackson, and your seconder, I understand, is Councillor Cooper.
Chair Pauls, you understand correctly. Thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by the newly elected Ward 8 Councillor Robert Cooper, whereas the installation of water drinking fountains and bottle filling stations can help reduce the use of single-use plastic water bottles, having a measurable impact on Hamilton's ecosystem and public health. Whereas water fountains and bottle filling stations support residents staying hydrated in the heat and improve local health. And whereas Hampton Park, in an active neighborhood park, and the addition of a new water drinking fountain would benefit residents, and I'll put in brackets there, and dogs. Therefore, be it resolved, A, that the water drinking fountain addition be funded from my Ward 6 Capital Reinvestment Reserve at an upset limit, including contingency, not to exceed $65,000. B, that the annual operating impacts of $1,500 for the supply of water maintenance and winterization be included in the 2026 Public Works Department base operating budget submission. And C, that the GM of Public Works be authorized, directed to approve and execute any and all required agreements and ancillary documents in a form satisfactory to City Solicitor Shields related to the improvements in Ward 6. And if I might please, Chair Pauls, the new playground equipment, $500,000 with the new, more accessible for disabled kids, nice road, the nice paved surface of the asphalt surface is all in place. It opened a couple of weeks ago for community use. We're hoping with the winter abating, hopefully later this week, that we're all set for a grand reopening of the Hampton Park with the new playground this Saturday, November 15th at 10 a.m. This was one of those leftover, nice to have if we could at the park, given the budget that was spent. And enough of the committee, along with community pressure, has said we would like to have these similar fountains that occur along Mountain Brow Boulevard, along the new multi-use pathway. And I want to add again, they're not only for drinking, they're not only for water filling, but they will have a doggy bowl as well. And so I want to thank Senior Project Manager Andrea McDonald, Project Manager Kevin Kernahan, and my Hampton Park Citizens Committee, Catherine Gottespati and John Ballack. We need to advocate for this, hoping for committee support. All out of my own budget. Thank you, Chair Pauls.
That's great. Thank you. And we have Councillor Wang. You want to ask a question on
Yes.
this part?
Yes. Highly supportive. Just wanted to understand the cadence of events that happens, because didn't we just shut down all of our water fountains, and then we just all of a sudden got a whole pile of snow, which may or may not lead to frozen grounds, which may or may not lead to actual digging of trench. I just want to understand, like, what's our time frame here, because I do know that it's going to be punted over the 2026 budget, so.
Through the chair. Yeah, it looks like winter outside, but the ground yet isn't frozen. So I think the intent would be to move forward as we are able. And if manufacturing and construction pushes it into 2026, then that would be the case. It wouldn't be open for use now anyway, because as you say, the water drinking fountains are typically shut off this time of year, reopened for service next spring. And I forgot to introduce myself, Cynthia Graham, Director of Environmental Services. Thanks.
Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, Councillor Wang, we're going to do an e-vote. And okay, 12-0. Thank you, and it passes. Now we have to go to notice of motions. First of all, North Central Park chain link fence for 67 Wentworth Street and North, and it's in Ward 3. Are you going to ask to lift?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Chair, it's moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Wang. The reason I'm seeking to waive the rules is
Waive the rules, okay? So we're going to vote Go ahead.
Sorry, the reason is because, not too dissimilar to what Director Graham said in response to Councillor Huang around the water, the ground's not yet frozen, so there's the opportunity to get this fence in before the winter comes.
All right. So we're going to vote on suspending the rules, and this is your e-vote. And it passes 12-0. So Councillor Nan, please read your motion.
Thank you, everyone, for letting me get this in today. Whereas a part of the land immediately west of North Central Park, 467 Wentworth Street North along Mars Avenue, to be used as parkland, and whereas in order to enclose the expanded park property and to ensure public safety and health, a chain link fence is required to be installed along the west and rear sides of the expanded parkland, and therefore be it resolved that the supply and installation of a chain link fence at the perimeter of the expanded parkland at North Central Park be funded by the Ward 3 Capital Investment Reserve account as listed at an upset limit, including contingencies, HSD not to exceed $50,000, be approved, and then be our general language there in terms of all the other authorizations. As I mentioned, this is a great news story for the community. They've been quite eager to see this expanded parkland for quite some time. At this point, we are just a sodded green space, but significant increase in the amount of green space that's available to the Keith neighborhood. So very much celebrated. However, it does pose currently a little bit of a risk. The parklands are adjacent to industry and brownfields, which we believe are unsafe. We, as in the Ward 3 office, as well as the community that lives beside it, we don't know what those soils on the brownfield contain. And we want to make sure that the children and the pets and the families that enjoy the expanded green space throughout the fall and winter are not subject to any of those soils that we are not privy to. So the installation of a fence is about public safety. The urgency, again, is to make sure that the fence can go up this fall, partly because there is a portion of soil that's been moved by the industrial adjacent neighbor that looks like a berm that might attract kids to want to go down sledding once the snow's on it, and we want to make sure that the young people remain safe and don't go near there. So big thank you to Manager Doucette for meeting myself and my team on site to walk through and assess the location, the need, and to identify the best opportunity for us to act quickly as a city. And also a big thank you, of course, to our Keith neighbors for flagging that the temporary construction fencing had been removed, which we weren't aware of, and enabled us to do an on-site review and find a solution quickly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Nan. I don't see anyone asking questions, so we're going to go straight to the vote. Okay, it passes 12-0. And the last one we have for notice of motion is 11.2, and this is installation of speed cushion on traffic calming measure on Edge Hill Drive, and it's Ward 14. Councillor Sparrow, are you going to ask to waive the rules, or are you going to leave it as it is?
Staying as a notice, Chair.
Okay, great. So it's going to stay as a motion, and guess what? We're number 13. Guess what it is? Adjournment, everyone, and we don't need to vote, but the time is 2:17 p.m. and great meeting today, and thank everybody for being here. Thank you again. Thank you.